When it comes to Crystal Isles, rat holes are everywhere, so we proudly present Top 10 Unknown Rat Holes on Crystal Isles. This video is sponsored by Azura. Azura is a 25x server with 2-man tribes. Azura has 7 maps and they rotate monthly. Azura has insta-tame, fast breeding rates, and custom supply drops. Azura has an in-game shop but does not allow any pay to win. Azura offers new player protection, turret filler, and a ton of other great plugins. Servers wipe this Friday. Coming in at number 10, this can be found at 32.1 latitude and 55.5 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this rat hole can be found in the kind of snow cave area. I'm not sure exactly how to get in here, but I know that there's more than one entrance, so if you know this cave, then you'll know how to get over to this rat hole. And this rat hole really isn't the biggest rat hole, but it is extremely hidden. You literally cannot see anything on the outside of it until you are literally right next to it, and it makes for a pretty decent little spot for a solo. It's not the flattest, but you can fit easily a 2x2 or even maybe a 2x3 in here. Now, to get in here, you're going to have to use the little triangle foundation, but other than that, it makes for a nice little hidden spot that is super hidden away, and I guarantee you that a lot of people won't even know that this thing exists. Coming at number 9, this can be found at 47.8 latitude and 76.6 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this one, I will warn you, is partly a mesh spot. Now, I'm only really putting this one in here as because it doesn't really bring you fully into the mesh. It just kind of brings you into the side of the hill. Now, however, I do want to post this one so that it does get patched, as I have had to deal with people building in here on servers that I've played on, and it's been a very annoying rat hole. But anyways, here's what it looks like. As you can see, it's just pretty obvious that it's a mesh hole. I mean, the entrance is pretty big, and then you come inside and you have a pretty nicely sized area with a lot of flat surface. Now I will warn you, as this is a bannable spot on official and some unofficial servers, so make sure to check with your server owner before building in this location. And coming in at number 8, this can be found at 33.6 latitude and 49.6 longitude, and here it is on the map. Now this rat hole is more of an awkward one, however, it's extremely hidden. I've never even seen this rat hole before. I just randomly came across it and I was like, whoa, that's a good spot for a rat hole. So if you come over here and you find this little pillar up in the ceiling, you have to go right underneath it, and as you go underneath it, you enter into this nice little icicle room. Now it's not the flattest area to build in, and it's not the biggest, but if you're a solo looking to really stay hidden, this is a pretty good spot for you. Coming at number 7, this can be found at 39.6 latitude and 60.9 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this rat hole is pretty much just sitting in plain view. This has been here for a long time, and I don't know how, but I have never shown it to you guys. Now this spot can be found right above the waterfall, and I'm sure that you've already spotted it by now, but there is actually 2 of them. There's the first one right there, and then there is a second one right over here. Now this second one is pretty small, but the first one actually has a pretty good amount of room in it. If you come over here, there's going to be some like metal spawns on top of it, so you can just get rid of those, but on the inside, there is actually surprisingly a lot of room. You can fit a decently sized base in here, and here's what it looks like when you're in third person mode. So when you're in third person, you can see just how tall that this hole, the rat hole, is, and it makes for a pretty good spot for a solo, duo, or a trio tribe. Coming at number 6, this can be found at 50.5 latitude and 77.5 longitude, and here it is on the map. Now this spot can be found pretty deep in the floating islands area, so if you're looking for this, you're gonna have to go down to the deepest part of this, and then just look for these glowing rocks and the kind of roots. Now once you're over there, come over here into this corner. Once you're in this corner, simply just fly up into the rat hole. Now this rat hole is more of an open one, as it's also part of that little area on the bottom, but if you just build at the top, really no one's gonna find you. I mean, if you're a solo Yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult to defend this one, but it's a nice little hidden area to stay super hidden away from everybody else. Coming at number 5, this can be found at 38.8 latitude and 67.6 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this can be found more towards the top area of the floating islands. But anyways, here's where this spot is. If you look at this giant root, and then you look at this tiny little waterfall, you'll find a nice little spot. Now this spot is actually very good. It is a very tiny spot, but soaking this spot is going to be very difficult, as the only way to really soak it is to just hang down from it, because you can't walk downwards up to it, you can't really hover anything next to it. I mean, it's a pretty difficult spot to raid, so if you're a solo, I highly recommend building in this spot. Coming at number 4, this can be found at 50.9 latitude and 80.7 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this again can be found over in the floating islands area, and here's where this spot is. Now this spot is a little trickier to find, and it's more of a more open kind of rat hole. Now what I mean by open kind of rat hole is, as you can see, the entrance really isn't the smallest, but there's a ton of room, so I would claim this one as more of a hidden base location over a rat hole, but still makes for a really good spot to live in. Coming at number 3, this can be found at 45.8 latitude and 73.8 longitude, and here it is on the map. Now this spot is way more of a hidden spot, and I didn't even know that there was a spot here until I accidentally just ran into it over here. Now, if you can look, you literally see nothing. But if you come over here, there is a pretty good sized spot hidden right underneath this little walkway. I've never seen this spot before, I don't know if you guys have or not, but it makes for a very good spot. Yes, it's not the flattest, or it's not the tallest, but if you're a solo or a duo looking to maybe build more of a compact kind of base and stay pretty hidden, this is definitely a good one for you. And coming at number 2, this can be found at 50.5 latitude and 79.7 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this again can be found over on the floating islands. Now this spot actually doesn't really make any sense, because you can't really walk into it, you have to walk through it. Now to get into this spot, come over to these little roots, and apparently these just don't exist. So the roots are here, but you can just walk straight through them, and I'm not even in Ghost or anything, which I just showed you guys. And to get in here, I don't know how I got in there perfectly that first time, but it's very tricky to get in here. You have to basically scale the side of the wall. So like, as you can see, I got in and out very easily for somehow, which is very difficult to do with this rat hole, but then look, I couldn't do it again. So to get in here, you have to get all the way out, and then you have to just scale the whole wall, and it'll guarantee you to be able to get inside the whole time. Now this spot's very small, so I wouldn't recommend building a base in here, but it's good to really just hide some loot. Coming at number 1, this can be found at 25.5 latitude and 73.7 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this spot can be found over on the kind of like mysterious island on Crystal Isles, Eldritch Isles I believe, and this one is a very massive rat hole. If you come over to this crystal right here, you will find a nice little entrance. The entrance opens up into a massive rat hole. Now don't mind the sparks on the screen, that's just going to try to kill you every time that you enter in here. Now that doesn't happen once, it happens twice in here, but after you get past those first 2 layers of it, it's completely fine and you'll never really get shocked. So that is another pretty big bonus for base defense when living in here. But anyways, coming through here, there is a second room, which is where you get shocked again right here. Now the second room has got some pretty good size to it, but again, it's not bigger than the first one. Now, after the second room, there is a hidden third room. The third room is over here in the corner. It's not the biggest, but it's pretty much just an invisible room. But that was all of the rat holes. We hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like if you're new, and hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.